Chapter 5.3, Example 1b. Now we are going to identify the functions, and these are the parent function, which are the cube root functions. So you can see that these are all cube root functions, so we can identify them as odd functions. So this function is going to be an odd function, so that's going to be a cube root odd function. Now you can see that this blue function is moved 2 units up and 4 units to the right. So the new function that's going to be cube root of x minus 4, and you're going to have a plus 2 outside. So the function is right 4, 2 up. So the transformation is going to be right 4 unit, up 2 units. And for domain and range, they both are going to go from negative infinity to positive infinity. So negative infinity comma negative infinity for x and y, and negative infinity to positive infinity for x values. For range or y values is still negative infinity to positive infinity. For letter E, this is going to be an odd one, and this is, you can see that the direction of this graph should be like this, and if it's the opposite way, then it should be a reflection. So one of the things that we knew for sure, this is a reflection. And the other one is that this has moved up 2 units. So this is up 2 unit because this is cutting at 0 comma 2. Normally it should cut at 0 0, but this one is moved 2 unit up, so that's why it's 0 comma 2. And the last one, you can see that this graph is stretched a little bit. If it would be a normal graph, then it should look like this. So if it would be a normal graph, then it should look like this. But this is a stretched graph, and we have to figure out how much it's stretched by a factor of 2. So the graph that we are going to get is, first of all, we're going to write a negative in front, and then we're going to have a stretched graph by 2, and then we have a graph that is a cubic, or not a cubic but cube root of x, and then after that is going to move up 2 unit. So stretched by 2, stretched by 2 means the 2 in front, reflection means the negative sign, and up 2 means that outside of the function you add 2. In the domain and range for both of them are going to be negative infinity to positive infinity. So I'm going to skip letter F because that is a little bit complicated, and we're going to move on to 1, 2, and 3, and after that you're going to do the next page as your homework. So now you're going to try number 1, 2, and 3. For number 1, the regular graph that is a parent graph is a square root function, and the blue graph is moved 1 unit to the left and 2 unit up, and the equation is going to look like square root of x plus 1 inside this function, and outside you have a negative 2. For domain, you're going to start from negative 1 for x value, and it's going to approach to infinity. So this one is infinity comma infinity. So for the domain, negative 1 to infinity, and for range 2 to infinity. And in other words, in inequality form, you can just write it x is greater than equal to negative 1 and y is greater than equal to 2. This is going to be an odd function, and the one that we saw in a blue one is moved 2 units to the right and 1 unit down. So the equation is going to look like square root of x minus 2, 2 unit right, 1 down. And the domain and range for both of them has to go from negative infinity to positive infinity. For number 3, that's going to be an even function, the given parent graph. And then the blue function starting from 0, 3, but it's upside down. It means it's a reflection. So for reflection, you use negative sign, move up 3 means that you have a plus 3. Next, we are going to do example number 4. We are going to write the function, and the transformation is given fx cube root of x. Write a gx where fx is vertically stretched by a factor of 6, followed by translation 3 unit to the left. So the gx is going to be 6 times cube root of x, and it's going to go to the left 3 units, so that's going to be your answer. Next is letter H. Given fx equals square root of x, write a rule for gx where fx is shifted up 7 unit, shifted right 6 units, vertically stretched by a factor of 2, then reflected across the x-axis. We are going to do this step by step. So first thing is to do is 7 unit up. So square root of x plus 7. Then it's going to move on to shifted right 6. So which means that it's going to be x minus 6 plus 7. After that is going to be vertically stretched by 2. So you're going to multiply it by 2 in the front, and then you distribute the 2 inside. You get 2 times square root x minus 6 plus 7. And at the end of all, you're going to have reflection over the x-axis. So it means that the whole function that you got, you're going to multiply it by negative. So the final answer is going to be negative 2 x minus 6 minus 7. So distribute the negative with this and this term. Next, you're going to try number 4 and number 5. For number 4, you're going to write a gx where fx is vertically stretched by a factor of 9. So first step is times 9. Shifted up 12 units, so plus 12 on the outside of the function, and then write 40. So write 40 means that you have to subtract 40 inside the function. So 9 times square root x minus 40 plus 12. Next is number 5, gx that you want to write. First thing is to 4 units down outside of the function, 4 units minus. Left 9, inside you're going to add 9. Vertically stretched by 10 means you multiply 10 with the whole function and distribute inside. You get 10 times square root or fourth root x plus 9 minus 4. And the last one is reflection. So reflection means you're going to multiply this. Once you distribute it, you multiply negative outside and distribute that inside. You're going to get the final answer negative 10 fourth root of x plus 9 minus 4.